Ah, yes, Hobby Lobby, a wholesome, family friendly Christian arts and crafts store, known for arts and crafts. But in 2009, the store wanted to do something more philanthropic. And what's more philanthropic than to purchase thousands of questionably sourced, unverified artifacts? I'm sure nothing could go wrong with this. Back in 2010, Hobby Lobby purchased over 5,500 Near Eastern artifacts for $1.6 million and attempted to illegally import them into their US stores. According to the company, they started this collection of artifacts out of their evangelical Christian mission. The company funded the Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C., which is a museum dedicated to Christian texts. And according to the company president, Steve Green, the company had collected up to 40,000 biblical artifacts. Some of these artifacts included cylinder seals, clay tablets, and bullae, which are small lumps of clay that were put onto a document or commodity and then stamped with a seal to prove authenticity. These clay tablets were dated between 2100 and 1600 BC from the ancient Sumerian city of Erisagrid and were mostly ancient legal and administrative documents. However, there were also a collection of tablets with early dynastic incantations and a bilingual religious text that were from the Neo-Babylonian period. There are around 450 clay tablets and 3,000 bullae that would be involved in this scandal. The illegal export of these artifacts was prohibited by federal law, which restricted the import of Iraqi cultural products since 1990. A dealer based in the United Arab Emirates would ship the artifacts in a series of packages to Hobby Lobby's headquarters in Oklahoma City. Some of these packages ended up getting intercepted by the American Border Customs. They ended up finding that all the packages and shipments lacked proper customs documentation and shipping labels that wrongly identified the contents as being ceramic or clay tiles. These labels also made it seem that some of the artifacts came from Turkey, which had different importing requirements than Iraq. There were also artifacts purchased from dealers in Israel that were labeled as coming from Israel. According to the Department of Justice, Hobby Lobby moved forward with the 1.6 million deal, even though experts warned them about the potential for the artifacts to have been looted from sites in Iraq. The DOJ also said that in 2010, the company retained an expert on cultural property law who urged them to verify the origins of the artifacts that they were going to buy. This was because if they didn't, then the artifacts could be seized by the Customs and Border Patrol. The DOJ also stated that Hobby Lobby did not meet up with the owners of the artifacts and instead wired the money to seven different bank accounts, which were connected to 5 individuals. The story does have a good ending though. In early July of 2017, U.S. federal prosecutors filed a civil complaint that was titled United States of America via approximately 450 ancient cuneiform tablets and approximately 3,000 ancient clay bullae. Then, on July 5th, Hobby Lobby agreed to pay a $3 million fine and relinquish the 5,500 artifacts so as to be given back to Iraq. At the time, Steve Green made a statement saying that the company should have exercised more oversight and carefully questioned how the acquisitions were handled. Finally, in March of 2020, Steve would return another 11,500 artifacts to Egypt and Iraq after a re-evaluation of the items in their collection. Then, in 2021, the DOJ seized the Gilgamesh tablet, which was still in the company's collection, and as of August 2021, 17,000 artifacts have been returned to Iraq. It's also worth noting that in October of 2018, the Museum of the Bible revealed that 5 of its 16 Dead Sea Scroll fragments were actually counterfeit. And in March of 2020, an independent art investigator hired by the museum revealed that all 16 of the Dead Sea Scrolls fragments were counterfeited, made from ancient leather and modern inks. So, there's also that. So what can we learn from all of this? That purchasing stuff from war-torn areas is a bad idea? that not doing your due diligence into artifact regulations can get you into serious trouble with the DOJ, that if you screw around enough, you will find out? I don't know. I guess a mix of all three, but what I can say is that no matter how committed you are to something, always do your research before going through with anything. Unless you're making a YouTube video, then you can just read off a Wikipedia page and no one will question you. Anyways, the end.